And welcome to my Safe Gayven, everybody. Thank you guys for joining me and clicking on another video here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. If this is your first time checking out my channel, checking out one of my videos, let me introduce myself. My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek, and I always say the things that I love to talk about here on the channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the four. So I mostly like to talk about fantasy, superheroes, comic books, action movies, horror movies, sci-fi, and of course I like to talk about black representation and queer representation. So if that's something that you're interested in, do me a favor, help me continue to grow this channel. I'm almost at 11,000 subscribers. I remember when I hit 10,000 subscribers just, a couple months ago, and now I'm almost at 11. So yes, thank you guys for subscribing and enjoying the content, engaging with the content. I see you. Let's continue to grow. So guys, we are here to talk about the very controversial, I don't even know why I was going to say surprisingly controversial. It's not that surprising, but the controversial news show Ironheart that's getting a lot of mixed reactions. I'm not talking about the show itself, like the content of the show. I'm just talking about just the fact that this show was even created in the first place. Like, there are so many people and their racism is showing, and then they try to like justify it by trying to say, oh, so because I don't care about this character, that automatically means I'm racist. Yes, because the show's not even out yet. Like, you're criticizing and talking bad about the show and it wasn't even out yet. Like, we don't even know if the show could have been terrible, but you don't know that, and you're already saying, oh, nobody cares about this, who wants this show is gonna be garbage. Who knows? We don't know. But now the show is officially out, at least when this review comes out. The review embargo for this lifts really at 9 o'clock, which is when the show comes out. By the time you see this video, it'll only be the first 3 episodes that are out. I got a chance to see all 6 episodes, which is the entire first season. I don't know why it's only 6 episodes. It should at least been 9. But this will be a non-spoiler review for what I think about the entire season of Ironheart, and no spoilers. So with that said, let's get into my thoughts about Ironheart Season 1. So yeah, Ironheart Season 1, it follows Riri Williams, who we met in Wakanda Forever, and it follows her life after Wakanda Forever. This show takes place after she leaves Wakanda and returns back home to Chicago, and this show does take place in Chicago. The official synopsis actually says, genius teenager inventor Riri Williams creates the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man. And following the events of the film Black Panther Wakanda Forever, MIT student Riri Williams returns home to Chicago, where she becomes entangled with the enigmatic Parker Robbins, the Hood, discovering secrets that pit technology against magic and setting her on a path of danger and adventure. But yeah, the lead up to this show, Marvel had me nervous that this show was even gonna still come out, because they didn't start promoting it until the very last minute, like a month before the show came. Like, I think I read somewhere that Ironheart had the smallest advertising window of all Marvel Disney Plus shows, or the least amount of days, which I'm just like, ridiculous. Because like, we knew about Agatha, and I made a video about this and it went pretty viral, but we knew about Agatha all along back in Comic-Con. Like, the show, we heard that song Down the Witch's Road, and they were promoting that since San Diego Comic-Con, which is in July, but the show didn't come out until like October. So that was like 2 months that we knew about, but like we didn't get a trailer until like this month, really. So less than 30 days before the movie, or before the show came out. And then on top of that, what had me nervous, even like, granted, I saw the 6 episodes, so I'm not anymore, but like the review embargo, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we can't post official reviews. You could do social media reactions, but even then, you're allowed to do your social media reactions yesterday, which is the day before it comes out. But the actual review embargo doesn't lift. I can't post this until tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is literally when the first 3 episodes come out. Like, that's usually not a good sign when studios and companies force you to hold your reviews until damn near the property is coming out, or damn near it's out already. Like, that's usually not a good sign. But with that said, what do I think about Ironheart? So again, non-spoilers, I saw all 6 episodes, and it's really not that bad. It's pretty good. I enjoy it overall. And I would say, for me, it's one of the stronger Disney Plus shows. Now, I'm not saying it's the best, but I'm saying it's one of the stronger Disney Plus shows in the sense that more times than not for me, a lot of the Disney Plus shows do not have a strong ending. Like, what is that saying? Like, you started with a bucket of milk and then you kicked it over or whatever. I don't know. I'm butchering that phrase or that saying. But that's essentially how I feel about a lot of the Disney Plus shows, where it's like, I really enjoy it from on like the first 2 episodes or whatever. I'm just like, oh, this is really good. But then by the end, you're like, this is weird. Ironically enough, or funny enough, Ironheart had the opposite effect for me. And it kind of makes me understand why they're releasing the first 3 episodes off the back, because I will admit the first episode was kind of rough. The first episode, because there's a lot of place setting and table setting and getting you introducing to these new characters outside of Riri, because outside of Riri, we don't see any other characters from the greater MCU. It is a completely new story with new characters. Riri is the only person that we know from a previous property, which is Wakanda Forever. And so we're getting to get introduced to a lot of these characters. And because of that, there's also a lot of exposition that happens in the first episode to get you started. But not even just that, because that's normal for a first episode. But I feel like there was a lot of weird cuts in the first episode that were kind of a little jarring, that made me think, I feel like there was more here that they probably cut for time or whatever, or it feels like there was another storyline that was supposed to go here, and it just felt weird with the way the first episode ended up, like the final product of the first episode. Like, it felt like there was something on the cutting room floor that was needed that they took out. And if I remember correctly, I think the first episode was like 45 minutes, and I'm like, this episode could have probably used the entire hour to make it a little bit stronger and tighter. But with that said, each episode after that, I feel like just got stronger and stronger and stronger. Like, episode 3 is when I really was like, okay, I'm in and I'm invested and I really want to know where this, like, the episode 3 is when it really started to get good for me. And then 4, 5, 6, like, each episode just built upon itself, where unlike, like I said, with other Disney Plus shows, like, it starts off strong and then it wavers by the end. Where Ironheart, it kind of started off a little and I don't want to say mediocre. It wasn't mediocre, but it was just like, I guess that is mediocre. But it started off a little rough, but then as it kept going, by the end, I was like, oh, this is really good. And a lot of that is on the strength of Dominique Thorne, who does play Riri Williams. And, you know, when you see her in Wakanda Forever, like, I like her character as Riri. Like, she's a full, like, Gen Z type of character, but, like, she's cool. I like her, like, she's a well-established, like, personality in terms of the MCU. And then, like, when you saw her character in, like, What If, it's clear that Marvel, it seemed like they really had plans for Riri, but then, I don't know, like, it feels like they're just dropping this show just to drop it, and then we're probably, based on how they're treating it, I don't know if we're gonna get a season 2, but then based on how it ends, we need a season 2. Cause not to jump ahead, but, like, when is that? Cause the show ends, and I'm not, there's no spoilers, but episode 6 ends with 2 post-credit scenes, and I'm just like, so when is this gonna get resolved? But with that said, I will say, like, this show, granted, it's built around Riri Williams, it's built around Dominique Thorne, but she's not the only character that you become attached to. Like, a lot of the characters in this show are pretty well defined, and you are attached to a lot, or at least I was. You enjoy and like a lot of these characters. Even Anthony Ramos, who is the main villain, who plays Parker Robbins, the Hood, he has a good storyline. I do wish, because he also has a brother character, and I wish that relationship with his brother was developed way more. And that's one of the bad things about only having 6 episodes, because by the time you get to episode 3 and things like really start to ramp up, then you're like, okay, we're already at the halfway point. Now we got to start toning things down. But it's like, I wish there were like a lot of time for more quieter moments. Like, a lot of people complain about like filler episodes, but you get a lot more character development and attachment to characters and learn more things about the characters and potentially the world in those filler episodes. Like, I think about episodes of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Again, it always goes back to Buffy, but like, let's just take season 5 as an example. The main plot of season 5 is her fighting Glory and protecting Dawn, her sister, the Key. But there were episodes throughout that had nothing to do with Glory and were just like a monster of the week. And with that, like you learn and see more of the characters and more of the world. Whereas in today's version of television, every single episode will be about Glory until it gets to the end, and then she takes out Glory, and then it's like, okay. But it's like, I miss the days, maybe not necessarily 22 episode television, but I miss the days of more than 8 episodes of TV. Like, honestly, I'm tired of 8 episodes of television. And then on top of that, and then really not even this, we didn't even get 8, we got 6. And then on top of that, we get these 6 to 8 episodes of TV. But then we gotta wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years for season 2. Like, we still haven't even gotten a season 2 of Miss Marvel, a season 2 of Hawkeye. I know they said they're working on it, but who knows? Who knows how long it's gonna take? Like, Interview with the Vampire ended last year. We're not getting season 2 until 2026. That's 2 years. But back in my day, when I was watching TV, we were getting 22 episodes of television and only had to wait 3 months for another set of 22 episodes of television. Like, and even throughout that, we only had to wait like a month or 2, you know, when they go on hiatus, but still we were getting these episodes like back to back, as opposed to, like, look at Stranger Things. Stranger Things was like 4 or 5 years ago, season 4, and we still haven't gotten season 5 is supposedly coming out at the end of this year. So yeah, I'm just over 6 to 8 episode television, and more importantly, the wait time around getting new seasons. Now, with that said, let's talk about another character that I was excited about, but ended up kind of disappointed by the end, but still enjoying the character. And what I'm talking about is Shea Coulee from RuPaul. I think she's from RuPaul's Drag Race. And most people were speculating that Shea was going to play the mutant known as Darkveil. And Darkveil is a mutant, is the first drag queen mutant introduced in Marvel Comics, created by Senna Grace. And when you see like the promotional material for Shea Coulee in the show has green hair, just like Darkveil in the comics, except Darkveil's hair is a longer wig, as opposed to Shea Coulee using their real hair and making it green. And I was disappointed to find out that Shea Coulee's not playing Darkveil. At least they haven't revealed that. Shea Coulee is literally just Slug, just a hacker, and that's all there is to that character. Granted, not to say that character is nothing. I enjoyed that character, but I was hoping we were gonna get some mutant representation, like it was gonna be Darkveil, Marvel Comics' first drag queen superhero. Now, granted, that doesn't mean they can't reveal that in the future, but at least for this show, that wasn't the case. And also, I will say one of my biggest criticisms regarding the show, and overall, again, I gotta keep saying, I did like this show. But one of my biggest criticisms, because they keep touting and like advertising this show as like a big battle between magic and technology, and Riri Williams being the science girl and Parker Robbins being the person all about magic, and is Riri gonna be able to overcome that and all this other stuff. And I'm like, but yeah, like honestly, there wasn't that much magic in the show, at least coming from Parker Robbins. Like, they keep teasing like this epic, and it's like, not to say there wasn't a battle, but it wasn't like magic. It wasn't that much magic versus technology. Like, they reference and talk about magic a lot, but we don't see that much magic coming from Parker. Now, with that said, there is a character that they introduced that has a lot of magic. And first of all, I was like, wait a minute. Where's Wong? Like, you're the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, you should be pulling up on this person. But then also, I was like, that character felt like just a plot device, because I was like, I want to see more of this character. This character is really interesting and really a fun character. Like, a lot of them, I don't think there's a single person or actor, or not just actor. None of the actors were bad, but I don't think there was a single character in this show that I was like, I wouldn't be interested in seeing more of. Like, even Alden Ehrenreich, what's his name? Alden Ehrenreich, who, no spoilers, but he's playing the son of Obadiah Stane. I thought he was just going to be in there like a one and done episode. I was actually surprised by how much his character was involved in the storyline. And I was like, oh, he's a cool character. I would actually like to see more of him. He was good. And so, like, I enjoyed his character as well. I was wondering how they were going to address the Tony Stark originally being Riri Williams' AI when she started out as Ironheart. They don't. They just skipped to what happened in the comics, where she had the new AI called Natalie. And if you know the comics, you know the story about her AI, Natalie. I'm not going to spoil it here, but you'll find out, obviously, when you watch these first 3 episodes. But yeah, after watching this show, though, I will say, I have way more questions for the overall MCU, and then also these characters, because like I said, when are these storylines going to be resolved? Because this show does end on kind of a cliffhanger, and it'll be very disappointing if we don't get more. And not only just that, but there's a character that gets introduced in episode 5. I'm not going to say more than that, but I'm just like, so we're saying this person was here this whole time. A, where have they been? Why introduce this character, this big of a character, in Ironheart of all places? And then again, are we gonna see more? What's happening? And then based on how it ended, I'm just like, I don't know. I can't say more than that. I will have to obviously talk more about it in a spoiler review. But overall, I enjoyed Ironheart. I thought it was fun. Like, I would say episode 5 was my favorite episode of the season, and I hope we get a season 2. I hope we get a season 2. So if we get a season 2, I guess it's up to you. You guys got to watch it and run the numbers up, and then hopefully Marvel sees it and be like, oh, okay, let's give it a season 2. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than I enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully we get a season 2 or some level of conclusion to these storylines and these characters and what ends up happening by the end of this season. We'll see. But what do you think about the first 3 episodes of Ironheart? Come back here. Let me know all your thoughts. Like, share, comment, interact for the All Gay Rhythm. If this is one of your first time checking out one of my videos, hopefully check out the other videos on my channel. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Please, 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 please hit the like and subscribe button. Tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And guys, if you are fans of Noah's Ark, I am working on doing, not a live, but doing an episode with Daryl Stevens, who plays the title character of Noah, and we'll be talking about the show. So hopefully you did watch it on Paramount. I guess I'll try to do a non-spoiler review before my conversation with Daryl so that you have both of those. But either way, we're going to be talking about Noah's Ark, and it's going to be spoilers. So hopefully you're interested in that. You again, hit that bell notification button so when I post that, you're alerted. And yeah, that's all I got. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.